Hello. Oh, I've got my mic on. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Simon, you're live. Yeah.
You're live. Thank you.
You're live. Thank you. Have fun.
Hey, me ducks. I'm not even not ready. Just let me grab my coffee. My goodness. Wow, that was a bit of a car crash. How long? Seems like a typical Wednesday to me. It's only just 5 now. I was just getting ready to go. Let me open. I need to take it back and see how long I've been live for. I didn't even turn my volume down. Your channel. Okay. Oh my goodness. You went live about 5 minutes ago. I'm just oh. It says I'm adjusting the camera, look. You can see me adjusting the camera. Yeah, that was about 5 minutes ago, just before I went to put my dinner in the oven. Oh, did I light the incense? I did. Yes, I lit the incense. Found a little box to put my incense in. You know, I told you about the less smoke ones. Oh, let me get back up, because now I'm just sitting looking at an empty chair, like you've been. It kicked in at 8:56. Oh, so 4 minutes. It was weird. Yeah, it must have been, as I put the phone into the cradle, and I've turned it round, because I set Do Not Disturb on my phone so that calls don't come in. Although it came in on my iPad, which is interesting to know, because Elle rang to tell me that I was live, which you've probably seen now. What am I talking about? And breathe. So how are we all doing? At least you didn't F up like that girl on Zoom call, Simon. What girl on Zoom call? Someone F'd it up on Zoom call. I'm not sure I'm aware of it. I mean, that's all we do now, isn't it? Exist on Zoom calls, if you're still working from home like I am. Zoom calls, Microsoft Teams and everything else. But she went potty with her entire team, did she? Are you referring to the girl that went to the loo on Zoom? Oh, I would die. I mean, it's not as bad as last summer, is it? Last summer, I was in my boxer shorts and I went live, just like I did there. Are you referring to the girl? Yeah, so it's trending. She went onto a work call, not realising the video she was on the toilet. Oh no. I have heard the one where there's I think it's in the States, it's like a big conference of MPs, we don't call them MPs, senators and that sort of thing, and this guy's done a speech and he's got a mic clipped to him and he excuses himself and goes to the toilet, and they hear everything, not just him urinating, but he's letting wind and all sorts. And it was played out to everybody and was trying to carry on as normal, and every time they carried on they kept hearing these Trump sounds and things. What angers me is that one of her workmates had to have it published to the web. How unprofessional. Yeah, that's a bit naughty. At least I've got people like Elle who's got my back and contacts me and says, Simon, you're live. Which I would have only seen had I come here and seen the iPad, because the phone won't ring while it's on Do Not Disturb. But anyway. Hi, Lucian. So how are we all doing? I feel like I'm off to a bad start now. I feel kind of discombobulated. But how is everybody? Are we all having... It's the turn of the week, folks. It's Wednesday. It's that middle day. It's a short week in the UK. We've got a bank holiday on Friday, so one more day left at work for this week. And I'm going to go for a walk. I feel really inspired. I think I saw B-Jam in here earlier. He posted some walks along the Nottingham River with some little ducks and ducklings. And I was like, do you know what? It's 3 weeks since I went for a walk. Because weekends are so busy and I'm working in the week, but Friday I've got a day off, so I'm going to go for a nice long walk. I just hope it's a day like today, because it's gorgeous today. Witcher Whimsy says, I'm doing well today. The sun is out and it's warm, so we're finally enjoying what feels like spring. And Kristen is good right now as well. So, yeah. Jamie is tired. That's how I am. Sorry to hear that. I know you're going through it a bit at the moment, aren't you, my lovely? So I hope things start to pick up for you. I need a tarot assignment to do today. If anyone gets to give me a good spread or activity to do today, please share. Hey up, Becca. I've done one of your tricks. I arrived prematurely. I went live before my time. So, anyway, Dominoes. Let's talk a little bit about Dominoes, because the cards have now arrived. These are the 9 domino cards. And I mentioned the book, and I was saying that I saw it on Besetti's video. The Buckland Domino Divination book. I was hoping it would arrive today because it was dispatched 2 days ago, but it hasn't. But never fear, because I've downloaded it from Apple Books, and actually it's quite handy because you can tab all the different sections that you want instead of having to keep swiping through. You can highlight text and things like that. So I have removed from the you do get all these extra cards, and these are bicycle playing cards, so they're really nice quality. They've got the it's almost got like a plasticky linen feel, you know, just like bicycle cards, just like playing cards I should say. But I've taken out all the ones that go up to 9, just because the book doesn't do that. However, what I have found by reading through the book, there's all sorts in there. There's numerology and everything. Mine has to come from America, Simon. Couldn't find a UK seller. Really? Oh, I found a UK seller. For the book, Patsy, I found a UK seller. I already showed the domino set, but if you weren't in the chat on Monday, this is a beautiful set. I've put the cards that go up to 666 in there, and yeah, these are, they feel, and I've been reading up about them, they're imitation ivory, because dominoes originally were either bone or ivory, but these have this really, they feel so nice, really nice tiles. They have the spinners on them, which if you're using for divination, I would probably say is a bit of a must, because you need to know which way your tile is landing, because when it comes to reading dominoes for divination purposes, you read horizontally, you don't read vertically. So, for example, the way a spinner works is, let's take out a tile. I'll have to show you kind of on here if I can do it. It would have to be straight. So you can spin your domino, and then if that's at me, I would then flip it over and I would read that as 3-5 rather than 5-3, 3-5. Hello Simon, hi everyone, going to take the kiddies for a walk at 12:30, so I'm finishing up work whilst listening in. Hope everyone is well. We're fine, thank you Essence, hope you are as well. Nice to see you here. So yes, these are, I really love this domino set, and yeah, growing up, I mean every house I think in the UK had dominoes, a set of dominoes, a set of playing cards, but ours were never lovely like this, and this lovely set. They were just the kind of black plastic ones with the white dots, but these feel really nice and really authentic. So yeah, I'm going to show you bits from the book. So I won't be able to see comments now because I'll be using my iPad where all the comments are coming through, and on the phone you only get 2 at a time. So if it's anything urgent, just hold your question back and then pop it in when I come back on. So this is available through, where are we? Apple Books. God, let's have a look. Best way to show it, really. Well, I'll go straight to the contents page. Oh, let me turn down the brightness as well because you won't really see exactly what you get. So here's your content. So we have domino divination, the introduction, reading dominoes, numerological significance, the games of dominoes, it gives you some games as well, and then recommended reading. So I've highlighted some notes, which all, you go to the top, you just press your notes, and everything that you highlight within your books on Apple Books, I suppose it's the same as Kindle, isn't it? Highlight. So this edition was first copyrighted in 2010. So the book has been around for 10 years. The one that's out now that I've got is the 2012 version. The name of the book is Buckland's Domino Divination. I was trying to get the front cover up, but now I'm in this what is it? I know. Yeah, here, there's the cover. Buckland's Domino Divination. And it's by Raymond Buckland. And as I say, everything that I've highlighted in the book then appears in your highlighted page. So I'll just go back to there. So, and it just tells you a little bit about it. It's really interesting. It's not a massive book, about 150 pages, something like that. But it says dominoes as means of fortune telling are popular with many gypsies. That's the word it uses. However, the Roma have a superstition that the dotted ivories should not be touched on Monday or Friday. That's really interesting. I found that quite interesting. They also believe that the dominoes should not be consulted more than once in a moon's span. So again, like once a month. And they do believe that the tiles are very prophetic. Domino tiles, or bones, are rectangular and should be twice as long as they are wide. There are 28 in a standard double 6 set. However, later developments have double 9s and even double 12 sets. As mentioned, the dominoes represent the combination of 2 sets of dice and the results obtained with them, plus the addition of blanks. So, yeah. And then dominoes are relatively new to Europe. Records indicate that they were first found in France and Italy in the 1700s. And according to Joseph Strutt from the Sports and Pastimes of People, it arrived in England in 1801. So just over 200 years, really. Which I just find really interesting. But, you know, when I saw a book on Besedi's channel about domino divinations, I thought, well, that's probably a new thing. But it's not. You know, it's been used for a long time. The name domino is from the Latin dominus, meaning master of the house. And there's a section called Reading with Dominoes. I'll just read this first paragraph. There are several different ways to read dominoes. Which method you use will depend on whether you wish to give a fun reading, perhaps for more than entertainment than anything else, or whether you wish to look deeply into yourself or those about you. Dice, dominoes, runes, and tarot cards have all been used to both extremes. Many people start at the fun end of the spectrum and gradually advance. As they become caught up in the true meanings found in the tiles, dice, or cards used to focus their psychic energies. Others remain at the fun end, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I urge you to experiment, to play, and to do research. In some ways, dominoes are read in a similar way to dice, but one thing that's unique about them is that they can be used to tell the fortune of more than one person at a time, and it goes into explain all of that. So that's a little bit there, and then I have bookmarked a few bits that I kind of want to you know, share with you. So the way that they work, just to give you an example, so you read them from left to right horizontally. So here you've got starting with the 1, and that will get 1 0 or 1 blank, gives you your keywords, a bit like, you know, with runes, poems, tarot, as it says, which is sudden advancement, and then additional meaning, haste, end of a journey, swift messenger, freedom of action, and then you get a lot of text explaining that. So just like if you've got a really good tarot book, suddenly all obstacles have been pushed aside. You can move ahead at a good speed. What had seemed potentially threatening, if not downright dangerous, has now been hindered, perhaps even totally removed. You have absolute freedom of action. Now is the time to quickly review your past plans. Those that you may have put to one side, thinking them unworkable. In the light of this newfound freedom, consider all of your options and lose no time in moving forward. That's just the first bit. And then you get a numerological value as well. So that goes through all of them. So even starting with the 4s, I've just bookmarked the beginning of each group of numbers. And then I really like this. So you get numerological associations as well. So in numerology, the numerals 1 through 9 give the basis of all numbers and calculations. Pythagoras said, the world is built up upon the power of numbers, and he was the one who reduced all to the power of the 9 primaries. So that's quite interesting, a whole chapter of the book on numerological significance. I also did some screenshots to show you as well, because I think it's really interesting, and I'm quite excited about diving into this. Where are we? So there's a section here about tarot as well. So it's called Dominoes Tarot Equivalency. So one way of giving a detailed reading of the dominoes is by equating each tile with one of the tarot cards. In this way, as you turn the domino face up, you connect it to a tarot card and then read as though you had that card, rather than the tile in front of you. This, of course, presumes knowledge of the tarot cards so that you can see in your mind a specific card. And at first, when I was looking at this, I thought, well, this is quite complicated, but it's not. So if you have a domino tile, I don't know, 1 5. Okay, well, that should be that way. 1 5. 1 is wands, if you can see there. And then, but that's the problem. So the right-hand side starts at 8 because There are 78 tarot cards in the deck, but only 28 dominoes, giving you 49 possible arrangements of the tiles. Therefore, we work with the 8, 9, 10, page, queen, page, knight, queen, king of the minor arcana and the whole of the major arcana. So the major arcana becomes 4, 5, and 6. But then it goes on to how to break it down further. So things like cups are your zeros, 1 to 6. Wands can be wands, 1 to 6. So this would be 1, 5, which is a wand. Okay. Wands, 1, 5. It's just different ways that you can do it. And then, so an example would be something like, for the major, if you wanted to look at major arcanas, you've got 1 and 5 is the hermit. Oh, the hermit. Or you could break it down further. So like 2 and 3 would be page of swords. 5 and 3 would be justice. You have to kind of work through each bit. But it can get a little bit confusing, to say the least. But I haven't even got the book yet, and I've just done a few screenshots to have a look at it. Because it's all right if you pull a 1 and a 5, but looking at the simple way, then you can't associate that to a tarot card. But then it breaks it down so you can use all of your minors and all of your majors. Here are some examples of meaning of a particular domino. So 3 would be Queen of Pentacles, because we can see at the top, Pentacles are your 3s. And then if we're looking at the courts, they equate to all the number 5s. So Queen is 5 on the right. 3 is Pentacles on the left. Does that make sense? So you've got 3, which is your Pentacles, 5, which is your Queen. So that's how that works. There's also tarot domino spread. So here's the Celtic cross. So you can do a Celtic cross. There's also an astrological circle. What else have we got? Trumpet layout. And yeah, then the numerological significance. So it has things like 1 is sun, if you just wanted to read them for numerological. So I could pull 1, let's have a look, oh, and I've got a 2. So for me, that is the moon. So I can read it from just a purely a numerological. The element is water, the colours are green, all shades, and cream. The weekday is Monday. 2 is the number of unity, is a joint force. 2 has a great pacifying effect, giving balance and peace. The number 2 people can be emotional and easily influenced to tears, sensitive and domestic. They are very fond of the home, but can easily accept changes in surroundings. A 2 person has a fertile imagination, is patriotic, and has a preference for living near water, may have musical talents and great psychic abilities. So, I don't know, it's just, and it goes all the way up to, it even has like planetary stuff. And then it's got games, the game of dominoes and how you can play typical domino games, really. Let's pop the chat back open so that I can see you. So, I don't know, I just thought it's a new system. I've never read with dominoes before, but I thought, you know, having the cards, I can pull a card, or I can take these out of the box. I've got a nice bag I can put them in, you know, and lay 3 out, or just do 1 card pulls. 1 card. See what I'm used to talking about. I need to put my brightness back up because now it's too dark. So, have I missed anything? Scrolling back. 1, 5 was my domino card for the day, Simon. Oh, really? That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying the book. Yeah, like I say, I'm more of a book person. So I'm really looking forward to it coming, but you just don't know in this current climate how long it's going to be. And now I've got my tiles and I've got my cards, I just want to crack on. So I thought, well, if I don't know why I'm saying crack on as well, because I'm working every day. I've got Tarathon to prepare for, but it's something different to stimulate me. What else have we got? What book have you got on order, Simon? Oh, Elaine, it's the book I've just been talking about now, the Domino Divination, Buckland's Domino Divination, which is, I've just downloaded the Apple book version, the electronic version. Yeah, exactly, Patsy. Something different. I like trying different divination. So it's good just to mix it up from time to time, isn't it? Or compliment. You know, I give a reading to a friend every Sunday morning. You know, and this week he said, "Oh, can we have one of those little things that you just got, the witches things?" I said, "Oh, the witches runes." So, you know, just different things you can bring in. Someone gave me a PDF about using 3 6-sided dice for something similar for this, Simon. Yeah, I've got a dice divination book. It used to be up here, but I might have moved it now to the hall, to the bookcases in the hall. But it's quite good. That's not it, is it? No. But yeah, it's a whole set. And I've got, oh, where are we? I have these, which are all the different dice that you can use. With the 3 dice sets that you mentioned, I like using the different colours, so you can see where they are. Dropsy. So yeah, all this sort of stuff is really fascinating. But dice divination is a really cool system as well. But again, I'm not proficient in that, so I need the little books to kind of play along with. A 22-sided dice from Robin. Yeah, so that helps you if you're working with major arcana, of course, because, you know, you pull a 6 and it's the lovers. And so, yeah, which is good. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you. What else can we talk about? Oh, I can mention this. This arrived from our Sandra, which is the Mermaid Tarot. I don't know if anybody's got this. Have you ever tried to use charm divination? I've got a few charms, but like 6 or 7, so it's not that effective. But Patsy does, and she loves it. So Sandra didn't want this anymore. She just asked if I wanted it, and I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to send it me, fine. If I like it, I'll keep it. But if not, I'll pass it on." It only arrived yesterday. But I'm pleasantly surprised by it. It's got a really nice thick book. It's by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Julie Dillon. And, you know, it's the nice Llewellyn book, and it's got some beautiful full-page pictures all the way through. And even though it's the Mermaid Tarot, it's, you know, it's not all underwater. And some beautiful pictures. I mean, look at that. It reminds me of the original Mermaid film from the 70s, which I love. Cardstock is, you know, it's usual. Llewellyn, it's not brilliant. Those are the backs, which I think are quite nice. What's everybody laughing at, Patsy? What did she say? It has Tom Hanks as a merman, so I need to find the Tom Hanks one. What I really did like is underneath the cards, look, there's this little fish at the bottom. That book is gorgeous. It really is. It's a beautiful book, but a lot of Llewellyn books are like this now, but Just got some really beautiful, and when you've got full colour renditions like this, you can really study and see the details that you might not see in smaller cards. So yeah, so I thought I would give this a go. I'll just show you a few of the cards so you can see them. High Priestess is nice. There is diversity in this deck as well, which I'm really pleased about. So we've got people of different ages, ethnicities. I love this. Look at the lovers through the mirror. It's like, you know, first build a relationship with yourself. Learn to love yourself. If you love yourself, then it's far easier to love other people. Jonathan said, I found out about the Owl Owl isn't coming till 2022 or 23. It's usually the case when decks are first starting to be created. We have to wait. Love the Hermit. There's the Justice being balanced. Hanged Man is being caught, look. That's not Tom Hanks, is it? No. I need to find Tom Hanks. Do you remember which card is Tom Hanks, Patsy? I'm just trying to find Tom Hanks now. A beautiful world card. You can't remember. And I love that one. I think that's a beautiful Two of Cups. That's the one I just showed in the book. Oh, and this, look at that. Four of Cups. He's shipwrecked on a little island, but is not recognising what's on offer. Isn't that gorgeous? And this one, look. Giving a hug to a seal. I love that. Wilson. Yeah, I love that film. There's our Page of Cups. Very traditional, other than the fact he's got a tail. That's not Tom, is it? Tom just before he's rescued. Love that card. It's beautiful. The 4. Yes, I think they did a really good job. And even though I like the Magician Tarot, I think I prefer this one out of my latest Llewellyn decks. There's the 10 of Wands. Pentacles are beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? I was surprised, Sandra, actually, you didn't take to this deck. 9. At least it's gone to a good home. Yeah. There is Tom. Where? Which one? Unless I just don't think it looks like Tom, so therefore I've let it go past. Oh, I found Tom. King of Pentacles. This has to be the one. That's Tom, right? That's it. I see what you mean. It's in the eyes. Do you know now, every time I pull the King of Pentacles from this deck, I'm going to see Tom. That's weird. Oh, I see. 5 of Swords. In fact, all the swords are set in that icy scene. Love that. Oh my goodness. I didn't notice this one when I looked through it, but the Ten of Swords, it's actually finished her off. Her spirit is leaving her body, look. That kind of turns the modern day witch on its head. Everything's going to be okay. I suppose it is in the hereafter, but very icy King of Swords. Yeah, so I really like it. I really, really like that deck. So thank you, Sandra, for passing it on. I appreciate it. Are the cards smaller than regular tarot size? The usual Llewellyn size. This is obviously US game, so it'll be a tad smaller. So as you can see, very, perhaps do it that way, show up more. Just a slither smaller, but yeah, proper Llewellyn usual tarot size cards. Simon has freakishly large hands. All right, Anna. You did make me giggle with the Ten of Swords. I know, but crikey, that's really hard hitting, isn't it? There's no messing there. Done. Out. Tuna. I am late. What deck was that? Looked kind of nice. This is the Mermaid Tarot. I think it's been out, was it last year? I think it was released, I seem to recall. I think it was last year. 2019, yeah, last year. I have seen other people show it, and it was kind of like, if I ever see it, I'll get it. And then, as I say, Sandra offered it up, and I said, well, I'll give it a go. And if not, nothing to lose. As long as, I did say, as long as you're not offended if I give it to somebody else. But actually, I'm going to stick with it for a bit, because I think it's quite a lovely deck. I have it on my bulletin board above my altar. What's that? I have that card on top of my bookcase all the time. Is that the everything's going to be okay card? Yeah, but it's a good reminder, isn't it? Tuna, says Shane. Oh, I almost choked on my tea at that tuna comment. Oh dear. All right, well, I'm done a bit early today. Unless there's anything in particular anybody wants to mention. I have started reading my A Compendium of Witches, and I love it. It is written beautifully, and you know me with my ADD. I struggle to sit down and read, but it's gorgeous. It's about this lady who falls asleep under a tree, and she has a visitation from a tree spirit who tells her that if she comes back to this tree every night with an offering of some food and tea, then she'll be visited over the next 29 nights by different deities. So it's about those visitations that come each day. It's really written lovely. Now that was a quick live. Don't go, Simon, don't go. I've been on, well, I came on early, didn't I? By accident. So I've been on about 40 minutes. I'm happy to stay another 5 minutes or so, but have you tried I Ching, Simon? Ish. I've got the Tao Oracle. So I tried to, and I bought a little book, the I Ching book, quite a few years ago. And I tried to work with them together, but it doesn't, again, it's not something that sits and stays in my brain. So I didn't really get on with I Ching. How is it? Who is it by? Oh, this book. This is the one I showed, I think, on Monday. It's by Natasha Ilinsik. I think that's how you say that. Ilinsik. I don't know, but that's the author, and it's absolutely stunning. Really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. There's all different types of, that's Catherine Raypond. Some amazing, amazing artwork in this book. Really beautiful. So, yeah, do check it out. It is a little bit pricey, but just for the illustrations alone, I think it's going to be worth it. I noticed as well there is a Next World book coming out, an art book. So it's not a tarot accompanying book, but it is a Next World art book. And I thought, that looks quite nice. Do you know what topic you will go for Friday's stream? Kristen, I never know what topic I'm going for till on the day. And sometimes we won't have topics, you know, because there's not always going to be a topic, because this is the 27th QuaranStream, I think. And during those 27, I think there's only been 2 occasions where we just had a chat. So that's 25 different topics that I've come up with or thought about doing. So have you read I Am, I Create by Erin Worley? I haven't, Luna Rose. Is that something you would recommend? Let me make a note of that. I Am, I Create, Erin Worley. Hi, Alana. And hi, Hen. Are you just arriving? I'm just going. Yeah, so I'll check that book out, but no, I haven't. And I'm not a huge reader because it has to really grip me and keep my attention, but also just because, you know, not always a lot of time with working and everything else. But I used to read because I used to catch a bus everywhere. Now I drive, so I should perhaps pick up reading whilst driving. You're welcome, Karen. It's hard coming up with a daily topic. I wing it mostly. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just see something and it'll inspire me, and I think, oh, I might do my QuaranStream around that. But we should do one perhaps on Friday, which is just an anything goes. But the problem with that is, you know, that relies heavily on you guys as well to keep conversation going, or asking questions or things like that. So it comes in Audible. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I find Audible even harder than reading because I can't be read at. I just can't. I used to go to this group. It was on a Friday night. It was the Brahma Kumaris. I think I've told you about it before. And she used to sit in front of me and she would read for about an hour. And I glaze over. I just can't. It doesn't. There's some free books on Alexa. She even heard that. That just lit up. She's gone off again. But there's some on there, and they had free of charge, Stephen Fry reading Harry Potter. I thought, well, let's just give it a go. This was a couple of Sundays back. I didn't last 5 minutes. Ask you anything. Yeah, we could do an anything goes, couldn't we? Q&A type thing on Friday. Wow, your Alexa heard me, Lucian. Wow. You glaze over watching films with me. Well, it depends on the film. If it's a really good film and it grabs me from the beginning, then I'm hooked and it keeps my attention. I do find it better watching films in the cinema because it's completely dark and nothing can take my attention. I do find sometimes if I'm sat here and I'm watching a film and my phone buzzes, I'm straight to the phone, and then I think, oh, I've missed a chunk of the film, so I have to rewind it. Whereas in a cinema, your phone's off, you're in the dark, you've only got the screen in front of you, and I can manage that. My mind still wanders sometimes, but... Hi, Jen, good to see you. Yeah, I'm more or less done now. Auditory learning is the hardest learning style. I need visual learning, even better. I'm more kinesthetic. That's kind of my learning style. He glazes over during your lives, Becca. All right, Elle. Sometimes it's a long day. If I'm up at like 5:30 in the morning, and then there's a live going, that's why I comment a lot in lives, because if I comment a lot, it keeps me focused. If I just kind of sit back and enjoy it, my mind does wander, and then I think, oh, what they're talking about now? And then I end up putting really annoying things like, what deck is this again? What are we talking about? Have you heard of the Fate Shifters Tarot? I've got the Fate Shifters. Yeah, it's a nice deck, but not one that I use, Alana, as much as I should. Let me just, if I can find it. Yeah. So this is the Fate Shifters. And some cards are straight up. I mean, it's a massive deck. I have separated mine off because you get a lot of extra cards. Like you get duplicate lovers, so you can choose whether you want modest, where like the hair covers the boobs and things like that. But then there's also like astrological associations, star signs, you've got Mercury, planets and all that sort of stuff, which is nice. Cardstock is fantastic. And it's a beautiful modern version of the RWS in the main. And I'm not prudish, so I left in the naked cards because for me, the star card has always been naked. Why clothe it? And did they do that actually with the star? Yeah. I mean, I get it. They're trying to cater to everybody, and they're saying, well, if you're you don't want to see nakedness, but that's what the star card is for me. So it's a really nice deck. It's very modern. I don't know why I don't use this as much. I do think about it and I think I should really get this deck out more and work with it. What I say, it's very straight up, and then the Fool, so you see things like, you know, very traditional 10, but then they did change the Fool and didn't put an alternative in. The Hermit, there's two versions. There's this one, which is quite dark, and then there was this one, which has a lot more light to it. And I quite liked that one, so I used that one. Wheel is nice. Justice. And you see so much more detail. I mean, look how cleaned up that 10 of Pentacles is. What deck is this? This is the Fate Shifters deck, Jonathan. What else? Yeah, so it's a nice RWS version. I went with the Naked Lovers. Just seemed more authentic. I mean, all they did was move her hair around and put some pants on him. But yeah, the Fool. I have no issue at all with them swapping the gender of the Fool, because for me the Fool is, we are the Fool. Whoever we are the Fool on the journey. But it didn't even, everything else is kind of like a straight up replica, and that one isn't. So I just was a little bit confused because look, it's almost identical to RWS. But anyway, it's lovely, and the cards are lovely and matte, lovely card stock. Devil card is pretty epic. It's hard to believe this is a collaborative deck because it feels very cohesive. Yeah, they really worked well together, didn't they? But that's when collaborative decks work, and they're the ones I like. I'm not going to knock others, but you know, it worked quite well with Ostara because they all kind of have a vision. It worked brilliantly with Slow Holler. But then there are some decks out there. Oh, I like the Light Grey Lab as well. They do really good cohesive kind of decks. But there are some, I'm not going to mention them, where they're just 78 different artists and they just put their own styles together, and for me it doesn't work. I have got one of those decks in a series, but for me that's enough, and I don't think I'd ever purchase any more. Yeah, so this is the Fate Shifters Tarot, for all those asking. Look how beautiful the High Priestess is. And if people, you know, want to try the RWS, but they really don't like, I mean, I can't understand it myself, but really don't like Pixie's artwork because they think it's too dated, for example, then this is a good alternative. And you get quite a lot of cards in there because you get, like I said, all the additional ones as well. There is 100 cards in this set, and it's in this really nice box too. So that's the Fate Shifters Tarot. It's an astrology and tarot deck. Oh, ping. Is the size smaller than traditional? No, it's about the same size. In fact, it's exactly the same size as an RWS deck. Right, shall we pull a card then? And I'll get gone. I have 3, Jen. You have 3. Careful, Simon, you're bordering on disdain. Am I? Why? Okay, let's focus then. A message for all of us. So no QuaranStream tomorrow. Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday. It was so close. It was 50% each again, right until the 11th hour last night. And then it was pipped to the post by Tarot of the Witches. So it's Tarot of the Witches tomorrow. Yay, card pull time. Oh. Okay. Oh, I did it upside down. We have balance, people. Well, that's a bit saturated, isn't it? Try and put some light in front. Anyway, balance. Well, what can I say? I suppose with balance, what's coming to mind at the moment is that we all need that. We all need to be make sure that everything that we take on, we're taking on, and we can, you know, keep upright, because if we take on too much or we overload ourselves, we can lose our balance and we can fall. So try and ensure that whatever we're doing currently at the moment is aiding us to ensure that we have that well-being balance of both physical, spiritual, mental, balance of Jen. Jen's balance tarot. Yeah. But using that sort of analogy, Jen's balance tarot, and the weights and things like that, you know, you need to have everything measured. You need to have everything in proportion so that you've got that happy equilibrium. Because if you don't, you take on too much, then we lose our balance and we topple, and nobody wants that. So have a think about, you know, right now, everything that you've got happening in your life. Have you got everything in equal measure? Have you got everything in proportion so that you can, you know, continue to walk upright and walk in a straight line without feeling that we've got too much responsibility, too much burden. Lorna comes in with, I really want the Fate Shifters Tarot. Is that balance? Will add in the Fate Shifters Tarot really, you know, help you? Or, because I experience this so much, you know, I want certain decks, but sometimes there's not enough, there's too much month and not enough pay. And then I think, well, I'm going to have to balance this out. You know, I know now for the next 2 weeks, I can't buy decks. I can't, because I'm balancing the situation, and I'm making sure I don't topple. Even though I'm home a lot and I've got more time on my hands, and, you know, it'll be an ideal opportunity. It's about balance. It's about getting everything in proportion and not feeling overwhelmed or overburdened by things. And they're roots, aren't they? Yeah, little roots. So stay grounded as well, you know. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. Even though there's all this beautiful stuff up in the air, look up at it, appreciate it, but you don't have to be in the clouds with them. Stay grounded. Serve your life the best that you can, and be responsible in what you agree to do and what you agree to take on. And yeah, don't burn the candle at both ends. All right, guys, thank you. Sorry about the beginning, the car crash at the beginning. I'll have to try and be careful with that in future. It's a shame you can't edit these lives afterwards, isn't it? I suppose you can if you download them, but I won't go to all that paraphernalia. I'll put that card in upside down. But it is a right mess at the beginning. But anyway, that's the beauty of live. It is what it is, and it goes out as it goes out. So anyway, Becca, are you live tonight? Oh yes, it's Wednesday. It's your regular hump day chat, isn't it? So hopefully, no worries, Melissa. Nobody's ever late. You just come when you can come, and you can always watch back. Yeah, so hopefully I'll see people tonight in Becca's. And yeah, let me know if you buy some Dominos and you decide to do some domino divination. Feeling that balance card and reading. Yeah, it's so important for our overall well-being to get the balance right in all areas of our life. It applies right across. So I'm glad it resonated with people. All right, everyone, have a great day wherever you are. Go in peace. Look after yourselves. Namaste and blessed be.